Ladies and gentlemen, as mentioned, as you guys saw on social media, we got them. It is 9:31 in the morning in Los Angeles, but 8th Day Bentzi and Shmuel Marcus are up. They're excited. They're ready for this Miracle of Light season that we got coming up. And of course, the brand new album, which they just released last Thursday. It's available through Aderet Music. Stronger, Closer. Please welcome to the program, the Marcus brothers, Bentzi and Shmuel Marcus.
Hey. What's up, Yossi Zweig?
How are you?
There we go.
What's up, Z-Report listeners?
Baruch Hashem. We're so happy to have you. I got to tell you, since you and I posted that graphic, I've been bombarded seriously with questions from fans. They're so excited about this album.
Oh, wow. Okay, great. Let's do it. Bring it on.
Now, Shmuel, Stronger, Closer.
Yeah.
Stronger, Closer. Why was this the most important message from all the songs to use as the title track?
Wow. Unity. Well, it could be more than Jewish unity, you know. Of course, we didn't know what was going to be happening in the world when we did it.
Right.
Bit of a prophetic vision there, but mamish, very important now. Havas Yisrael, unity.
So stronger means stronger together, and closer means closer to the Geula, correct?
Yes.
You got it.
Okay.
Yossi Zweig, you're excellent. I mean, you pick up on these things.
I'm getting it.
Very impressed.
Listener Alex in Passaic says, please ask them what inspired them to use a violin the same way the Asper Yeshiva Band used it similarly on their song Hafachta. They used it, 8th Day used it, and Bring It Home. You know, is that an inspiration, or, you know, where did that inspiration come from? I actually had this similar question. I love the way you have this like electronic
Very
sound
question.
with violin. I love the combo. How did that come about, boys?
Well, the Asper Yeshiva Band is definitely a very, very big influence of ours.
Mm-hmm.
That's no secret. I don't know if it was a direct correlation like that, but, for sure they were a big influence. And it just felt right for the song. There's a certain joy and a certain, it's a joy with hearts that a fiddle or a violin brings to, like, a upbeat song. And it just felt right. So we went for it, and then Baruch Hashem, I think it came out great.
I got to tell you guys, this is, when I heard the album and I popped it in, like from the go, it just really grabs you and takes you on a journey. And the funny thing is track 1 and 2 are so different, arrangement wise, you know what I'm saying? Stylizing music, they're very different, but very special in their own. Shmuel, all right, so who wrote the songs, guys? I know you wrote them, I know you write some, and Shmuel writes some, and Bentzi writes some. Were any of these songs written together or just individually?
Well, it's all of it's written together. Everything is collaborative.
Mm-hmm.
That's just our writing style. Shmuley does most of the lyrics. The tunes and the arrangements we sort of create together. And then I sort of, go to town with it in the studio. And then, Shmuel comes in and adds his, ideas and 2 cents. But yeah, that's sort of that's our formula. That's the way our chemistry goes. And Baruch Hashem, I think this album, it really took off.
In my eyes, it definitely did. Shmuel, what do you have to say? I mean, I'm looking at these lyrics, and they're powerful, And Bentzi, I got to tell you, when you go through a song and then you have that moment where it's like dum 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 dum, towards the end of the song, that just brought it up such another level. I was already enjoying the musical arrangement, but then it just took me over to another level.
Wow, amazing! Thanks.
Mm-hmm. I think Yossi Zweig, I think what you might be enjoying subconsciously is that this album, 8th Day, really pushed themselves very, very strong and really, it's a lot of different styles in there. It's not our comfort zone, so to speak.
Right.
We really, I know Bentzi we did take for example, Sh'ma Yisrael. We did a bunch of takes on that, and Bentzi just kept on pushing, let's try something else. And I think that, it really, you can tell just from listening to it that it was a real effort and going out of our comfort zone, a little risky, doing stuff that we're not used to.
Mm-hmm.
Not the same old stuff, very fresh. It's hard to come out with your 8th album and not repeat yourself. But I think we really very proud of the song there. That familiar flavor, 8th Day fans are going to love it.
Right.
But it also has some new ground we're covering, and I think a lot of people will appreciate that.
No, I definitely do. Guys, this is the one problem that I think that I've always had with 8th Day. Not a problem, but when you guys came out with Yalili, you set the bar so high with, a new sound, a new flavor, a new this, and it's like, like every album you're trying to, go to the next hit, not Yalili, but try to do that. And you've done that constantly. But this album, for me, it just, it took me back to like that feeling that I had the first time I had Yalili, and I had Ellie Schwabel call me up saying, Yossi, you got to hear these guys. They're putting out an album. We're going to have them sing it with me at the Oh Hell show. I mean, you guys remember then? We were so excited about the song.
Yeah. This is the response we're getting. People are literally just like, wow, you guys are, this album, it's really, really rejuvenating the chevra. We're getting a lot of good feedback, and we really appreciate it. And you're awesome, Yossi Zweig.
Well, I try.
We appreciate what you do, having a show. You got your pulse on Jewish music. You appreciate the hard work that goes into these albums. You're awesome.
Well, I got to tell you guys, when you released Miracle of Light, first of all, thank you very much. Well, when you released Miracle of Light, last year, we knew something good was coming, We knew that something unique and different. But like you said, Sh'ma Yisrael, for example. And this is a question, and again, I'm not trying to put you guys in the spot, but songs like Sh'ma Yisrael or Geula, there were songs that came out before that had similar stories. For example, Geula's Alef Beis Gimmel, we can say Yaakov Shweki. And with Sh'ma Yisrael, you can say, Yaakov Shweki had Sh'ma Yisrael for maybe Rottenberg, also was about Rabbi Silver. Were you guys worried about that at all, being, the second song of a very popular message or story? Or were you just like, well, we want to tell it too, but we want to tell it our way to the world?
Yeah, no, exactly. You hit the nail on the head. It's, these are very powerful messages that don't get old, so to speak. And yes, we were aware that obviously Shweki had just put out a great song, Alef Beis Gimmel, but there was such a overwhelming emotion from the whole story of, Shlomo Bashkin.
Right.
And then the Sh'ma Yisrael story also is, these aren't subtle things. And, we had long ago decided to do these songs. Like Shmuley mentioned earlier, this whole tragedy with Pittsburgh and then #Stronger Together. We really didn't plan or know, obviously, that was going to be happening right as our album came out, titled Stronger Closer.
Right. But, that maybe you should have reworked the title track to Stronger Together instead of Stronger Closer.
Yeah. So, listen, these are beautiful stories and beautiful inspirations, and we were inspired. If the song is good and we're feeling it, we're going to go for it, and takes away that there's been other releases similar or with the same words or similar stories.
They're
both unique and both great.
Right. Shmuel, you were saying?
Yeah, one of the great compliments that I got from a very big Hasidic superstar, Avram Fried, is he said that everybody does songs about Shabbos and Mashiach. I mean, all Jewish music are about, a handful of things.
Right, I agree.
But Eighth Day's ability to keep on coming out with songs about the same things as everyone else's, but in a fresh, new way, that's what he appreciates about Eighth Day. So I think the Alef Beis Gimmel song is not so much heavy on just Shalmotcha's words, but also about in our own lives, how keheref ayin, in the blink of an eye, your whole situation can change. And I think a lot of people have been telling me that song is uplifting them, where you don't know where your Yeshua is coming from, and in a second, so we kind of use these ideas as a springboard for a unique, fresh message. And I think that's wonderful. This is the first time I'm hearing about that. There's a Sh'ma Yisrael about Rabbi Silver, but that's beautiful. And I'm sure it doesn't sound anything like it.
No, it doesn't.
But that's great.
Bentzi Shmuel Marcus of 8th Day with us via telephone, talking about the release of their 8th album, Stronger, Closer, in stores now, available throughout Derek Music. Shmuel, speaking of Geula, by the way, till you get to the high part, you don't even realize it's an Alef Beis Gimmel, and the way you did it was just amazing. And, Bentzi, small things in the production, like after he's like, Emunah B'Tachon Bren Geula, then you hear the Alef Beis Gimmel, that echo piece.
Sure.
With the guitar, it makes the song so much more exciting for me. It could have been done without that, but now that it's there, it's like, it just excited me up. And the fact
We're getting a lot of feedback that's people's favorite song on the album.
The fact that, the lyrics, for example, for those that don't have it, I see you're down, you're singing Oive, you got no reason for dancing, a sudden tap or your phone is ringing, and you're singing and dancing. So, you never know what's going to happen. You might be in a bad mood 1 minute, and you're going to hear some, good news the next minute. But yeah, Emunah B'Tachon brings the Geula. You have the Yiddish, you have the English. It is nothing like that other song that we all know. And the arrangements, Bentzi, between the guitars and what's that like chimey instrument that I hear like in the chorus sometimes?
Yeah, it's a synth. Keyboard synth part.
It's very cool, and it's not something you think about. Sometimes you might hear it in like a ballad or like a children's, Hamalach HaGoyel song, but it fits in.
Sure.
It fits in very well over there, and you wouldn't necessarily think to do that.
Yeah, Yossi, you're touching on some very, it's amazing because you listen to a lot of music, so obviously you're very susceptible to these things. But these things take a lot of time and a lot of fleshing it out in the studio.
Right.
And especially, it's funny, you mentioned Sh'ma Yisrael and Geula song. Those two songs went through a lot of just huddling in the studio, trying different ideas till we mamish felt like we got it right. And Baruch Hashem.
Well, I definitely think it comes across. When I played them Sh'ma Yisrael, my wife obviously knew, but I explained to the kids, I think it's important to explain to them that, that there were children during the war that, were orphans, or even Shmuel, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe some like secular neighbors said they would watch the kids till they get back, and somehow they ended up in orphanages where they stripped any memories or any resemblance that the children had to Yiddishkeit, correct?
Yeah.
So, for me, this song was so important because, this is one of those stories like you hear and it gives you the chills, that these kids it was a year or two later, and Rabbi Silver came to the orphanage, and they all said, look, they're all blonde-haired, blue eyes, they all look the same, and then he sang out Sh'ma Yisrael, and kids, who were taught by their parents from a young age, like answered, that was the minute they knew. And the fact, Bentzi, and I discussed this with many singers over the year, that it's extremely hard to give a song with a powerful emotion, a slow song, the bare minimum of arrangement while still getting across that meaning. And I believe you did it amazingly well with Sh'ma Yisrael.
Wow, thank you. Yeah, again, a lot of time getting that guitar part right. When the listener hears it, thank God they're getting a very complete, finished, it's mastered, it's mixed. But I just want to give, your fans and listeners a little behind the scenes of, what goes to a production like that. That's, days and days and hours trying different parts, finding exactly the right one. And that's how something like that, that's so bare bones and such a sparse, clean arrangement, that's how, something like that could work. And hopefully we've done our job. But yeah, I just wanted to add, the Rabbi Silver story is unbelievable. I highly recommend anybody to look it up. It's an incredible story.
Shmuel, tell me, this album is your eighth. What was the hardest song on this album for you to, I guess, Shmuel and Bentzi, to create and to arrange, lyrically and I guess musically?
Very good question.
Yeah, I'm not asking you your favorite song.
Very good question. Well, we're not asking our favorite song, which was the most difficult.
Yes.
I think the difficulty in Jewish music is you need to retain the Yiddish tam. If you're just doing a cool beat, you're not having that advantage of it being a Yiddish song, because the Jewish songs are fantastic. The Yiddish and the Sh'ma, people love it. It's that subconscious that we have in our music, and that's what we retain. And the ability to use new sounds so the kids like it and retain a Yiddish tam, I think that's the hardest part.
I could definitely
hear that. And I think with this album, especially, talk about Sh'ma Yisrael, talk about the Alef Beis Gimmel. It has got such a great modern sound, and Bentzi gets a huge yasher koyach, not only for putting the whole thing together, but he's assembled this incredible team of talent. With each album, we pick up new chevra, new ideas, and it's just getting better and better. And I think this one hit like a crescendo. It just pops. Baruch Hashem.
I agree with that 100%. The whole concept of coming up with a modern sounding album, it's got to be, like Shmuel said, you want the kids to like it, you want the youth to get into it, you want everybody to be into it. Keeping it where it's hitting the Yiddish and the Sh'ma,
right,
and giving the right inspiration. And also, just coming up with new ideas, coming up with new arrangement ideas, coming up with lyrics, harmonies, all these. There's so much that goes into it, and you could, fall into where you're just repeating yourself. So you gotta dig deep.
No, 100%. So Bentzi, let's switch gears for a minute. How do you go about that? How does 8th Day go about upgrading their sound? Do you walk around to studios? Do you listen to other music? Where are you? Where are you getting your inspiration from, so to speak, musically?
Well, we are extremely blessed and lucky. We have a lot of amazing musicians that we've come across: arrangers, keyboard players, bass players, drummers. Et cetera, et cetera. And that's, really the process comes from working with the right people. There's no magic. There's no shortcuts. Everything takes time, and you got to really put in the work and put in the hours doing the, like I mentioned before, just trying all the right parts.
Right.
But Baruch Hashem, we've been very lucky, and we have met a lot of great, talented people that we work with who sort of, I think, get what we're trying to do and understand where we're trying to go with our music and our message, and it seems to come together, Baruch Hashem.
Now, I just saw on social media that Aaron Niasoff, producer / arranger from Australia, who's been living in L.A. the last few years, said that he actually was part of some of the recording on the album. What did he help you with? Yes,
Aaron Niasoff is a rising star in the music world. He's an incredibly talented keyboard player, arranger. So he actually did the arrangements on Stronger, Closer, the title track.
Oh, really?
And, the piano and those strings. And he did that synth part that you love from Geula. That was Aaron.
Cool. See, now we're getting to the gist of how 8 Days hits are created. We're getting a little bit behind the scenes over here.
Yep. So that's a great example. I sat with Aaron in the studio a good, few hours and few days of just going through different sounds and developing the arrangement, and we worked with other great talented people as well. He's just one of the crew,
right?
But yeah, he did a great job. So happy with him, and I wish him all hatzlacha.
Okay, thank you very much, Shmuel. Morty Stark on Twitter. Yep. Morty Stark on Twitter says, "Can you ask 8 Day why they chose to remake Bob and You as their 2.0 song?"
Oh my gosh, Morty Stark. Why Bob and You? Bob and You is by far one of our favorites. We've been wanting to do a remake on that one forever. And then actually Crown Heights, COL, they approached us, and that's how that video came about. I don't know if you've seen that video.
Sure, I've seen the video. It's been on our site for a week since its release.
That video is blowing up, and it's just extremely fun. Yisrael Drehem actually did the music on that with Leo. That was fun.
Now, you guys changed some lyrics. You changed some lyrics on that song a little bit, right? Tweaked a little bit here or there?
Yeah, a little bit.
Now,
we wanted to know who knew the original.
Was it the butcher and the baker in the original? Or was
it? It was. Now, the butcher and the baker, they got separated in the verses. But yeah, we wanted to know who knew the original, who didn't, just so we can, weed out the new fans.
Right.
Tweaked it a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, we've been wanting to remake that one forever, and finally we got the opportunity.
Right. I always have a bone to pick with 8 Day fans, Bentzi and Shmuel, because when Izzy Tabenfeld, Alva Shalom, called me when the first album came out, I remember how unique it was and how different it was. And then you guys had Brooklyn, and then you guys had the 8 Day Live. But most fans just popped on with the Alili album. That was the album for them where they were introduced to 8 Day. It was the Chasing Prophecy and Al Yagat. So they don't know any of the earlier stuff. So I love anytime you guys do 2.0 remix. My question is there ever going to be a Hasidic Rambler or a Yarmulke or Furta Yidel, the ones that I grew up with, the Lama Balu. Are we going to hear 2.0s of some of the real classics?
Are you going way back?
Definitely. 2005, that's how far we're going back.
You know what, Shmuel, you could back me up on this. Even though those albums didn't get out as much as, like you said, Yalili, and then it sort of went from there, a lot of big music insiders, like big names, were big fans of those albums, and it definitely helped set the stage for us to, take it to another level with the, Chasing Prophecy and the Alili album. We were getting a lot of chizuk and a lot of, feedback from big names that had discovered us and were saying, you guys, this is great, stick with it.
Well, I believe Tracht Gut was a major hit back then. You know, Lipa and everybody else was singing that, but nobody knew where it came from.
Yes, yeah, Lipa was definitely a part of that. He was one of the first to sing our songs and, sort of help push us out there.
Shmuel, a question for you from me. What happened to Milton?
Milton Kishenor.
There's no Milton.
He's doing well.
There's 3 albums. There's no Milton. What happened to Milton? Did we ban Milton?
Milton is very happy. He's very happy with the Money Room. He's doing great. Big fan of Eighth Day. I think the new album really very, very happy for our fans. People that started out with Lama Balu like you.
Yeah.
And now 8 albums later, they got Samach to Samach. It's really exciting. I love the Yiddish part at the end.
Of Samach to Samach.
Touch with the hand, dance with the feet.
Yeah. My daughter's like, what does toot toot mean? I was like, I think it just had to do with the tune. I don't know. Is that back of the truth or what?
Toot als was du kennst.
Oh, it's Yiddish.
Yiddish.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I feel stupid. I thought it was like toot toot, like you're blowing a horn, toot toot. I was like, I couldn't hop it.
It's a good thing we did this interview.
Yeah, definitely. But I happen to love Sameach the Samach. People were comparing it on friends that met me were like, oh yeah, the Baruch Shalom just released Od Yishama. I think it's better than 8 Days. I was like, 8 Days isn't Od Yishama. It's Sameach the Samach, and it's a song to put you in a happy mood, not like to be the next wedding hit, so to speak. You guys aren't really about that. You guys are about song. I mean, a song can take off, and I don't think you'll be upset about it. But 8 Day isn't about trying to compose songs that'll be the next hit at your wedding, especially a song like that. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I don't think there's any any reason to make a good song or try to come up with a good hook. But I mean, look, we wouldn't be upset if a song became a big hit.
Right.
But we're definitely trying to write songs with some meaning. We always want our fans to think for a second and be inspired, maybe a little different than from the usual stuff. But
Yeah,
we put out the songs. Whatever happens is up to the public.
Right. I got to tell you guys, this past summer you did an RCCS barbecue, I think it was, correct?
Yes.
And you introduced a brand new song, Emein Anili Mili, and I saw it and I was like, okay, this is good. But then I get the album, and all of a sudden the ukulele from Sing Along Song pops back out on my speaker.
It came back.
It came back, but the song, wow, it sounds so different. And Shmuel, this is such an amazing message, that living only starts when you're given. You got to share what you got. You got to help your brother out. People don't really, when they hear Emein Anili Mili, they sing the song, they sing the words, but I don't think they even realize what the actual message of the words are.
Yeah, I think that song has a great message. And it's such a fun song, too.
Yeah. I think that's my favorite lyrical line from the whole album. This life was meant for living. Living only starts when you're given. That's just it's so concise and it's catchy and it rhymes, but it's also very powerful and just cuts to the, essence.
This is when you know that Shmuel is like trying to mess with the listeners. When he has these songs that are so lyrically, I guess it rhymes, but it's discombobulated because he sings it so quickly. And so this life was meant for living. Living only starts when, it just comes out so fast. It's kind of like a tongue twister. Shmuel has to put at least 1 or 2 of those in an album that you can't really have anybody else perform unless you know the lyrics like cold. It's not something you can read on your phone while you're doing it at a simcha.
Definitely a fun song. Yeah, this album has got something for everybody. It's got fun stuff, serious stuff, happy stuff. It's really, really cool album. I suggest everybody gets it, of course. And it makes a great Hanukkah gift, what I'm saying?
Right. So now the album is available through Mostly Music and through Aderet Music. I've been getting a lot of questions from fans, guys, about iTunes or Spotify. Can you let the public know when the digital distribution is going to start happening?
Very soon. We don't know exactly when, but it will be any day now. We'll definitely keep you all posted.
Okay, well, I guess that definitely clears up that. Another one of my favorite songs in the album, because I just want to go through the last few songs, so we're giving every song equal time. People say an album is like a child, and I guess songs is like stages of your child growing up. Star of David. This song, I don't know if it's the style or just a message, reminded me a little bit of, I would guess if I had to compare it to anything, to like Destiny. Are you guys familiar with Destiny or not?
Sure.
So the style of this song reminded me about that. But, it's funny because all of your messages on the album are all about, stronger, closer to unity, bring it home. Shul Hasim is also about being together. Smech Samach. Happiness, Geula is the Geula. Sh'ma Yisrael, remembering who you are, not forgetting that. And over here you have Star of David, which is also along those lines. Be proud of who you are. Don't be embarrassed to be a Jew, especially in today's day and age.
Absolutely.
So who came up with this story? Was this taken from a real story, or is this just written as a song?
This was, Shmuel can speak to.
Shmuel, give us some insight, man.
I'll give you the 30-second version.
Okay.
We have a brother Chaim. He did the Lily video.
Mm-hmm.
Very good guy.
He's the one that does the Chabad telethon too, correct?
Exactly. Very talented guy. And one of his friends is Dimitri Salita, who was a boxer.
Correct.
And he was called Star of David. Dimitri Salita, Star of David.
Right.
Now he's married now. He's got kids. He had a beautiful story. He came from Ukraine, and I think his mother passed away when he was a young child, a very hard childhood. He was beat up in school. So he kind of inspired this idea.
Oh, wow.
His life story is just an incredible story. And I think everybody could take a lesson from him,
No, that's a beautiful story.
So that's how that came about.
That's a beautiful story. These are things that fans want to know. At least I do. Now, we were discussing before we came on the air, Bissel and Mazel. We're discussing what glick means. Me and the boys, me and Bentzi and Shmuel. I was saying it means luck. My wife was saying it means happiness. And the boys are telling me that it means both. Bissel and Mazel. Now, the truth is, anybody in life needs a little bit of Mazel, no matter what you do. But I don't think there's ever been a song about it.
Well, there's a classic Yiddish folk song, and we were inspired as kids. We grew up on these old Yiddish songs, these old, Verlech and all these other, what's the name, Fyodor Bekel used to sing these beautiful Yiddish songs. So that is like part of our DNA, these old Yiddish songs. So somehow they just come out with these new, like we did Chitty Bim,
right,
from a few albums ago. That
That's
was a big hit, based on, of course, the very famous Chitty Bim, Chitty Bum. So it's just based on, that feeling of the old Yiddish songs. Obviously, we're giving it a new twist. And Shmuel just came up with this beautiful line of a little bit of friendship, there's a lot of stuff. A few wise words won't make you smart. A little of this, a little of that won't make a difference. But a little bit of friendship goes a long way, and it'll bring you some mazel. So, that's, again, that's just something that just came together. But the Bitzel and Mazel, it's an old Yiddish song that, we love to bring back these old Yiddish vibes.
I didn't even know about that, but the message of the song is amazing. My favorite line is, where is it? 2 raindrops won't end this drought. Not everything, a little bit goes a long way, but with the good stuff, it does. But the sound of this song, Bentzi, what is it? Is it like a big band? I was trying to put my finger on what exactly it is.
That was basically the goal, to get kind of a modern big band. This is maybe a little boring, a little technical, but it's live drums, and then we layered over all the live drums electronic pads or electronic drum sounds.
Oh, wow.
Which obviously is a lot of work. So it's a live drummer, but then, we added sort of an electronic, more modern sound behind it. So we were trying to get that big band sound.
And there's a lot of brass in there too, right? Yeah, big brass, right.
There's also a lot of synths and more modern sounds, but there's live horns and there's live bass, and it's a fun song. I love that one.
I also like the fact that I think on this song, and only on one or two others, you guys play back and forth with who's singing what verse. You switch it up somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So I always enjoy that. You guys, your voices complement each other very well, and that's the sound. I mean, if people really are 8 Day fans and they go back to the beginning, 8 Day was all of you. Was it what, 8 of you performing first time at the Chabad telethon?
6, yeah, 6 brothers.
6. Oh wow, 6, yeah, and that's what it was until you guys got together and everybody went along their own shlichus and moved on with their life, and the 2 of you were left. I'm getting a question here from Chana in Chicago. She wants to know if Rosie's still part of the group.
Rosie, of course. Rosie's our drummer.
Okay. I think she said she saw you did a couple of shows or 1 or 2 shows, and she didn't see him in the picture, so she wasn't sure if you guys were still traveling the world with Rosie.
Oh, yeah. Rosie will be on tour with us this Hanukkah. Look out for that.
Okay, Hanukkah tour, boys. Let's change before we get to Change the World, which is our last song. Let's just switch gears. Show's supposed to end, but we're going to go over because it's such an in-depth interview with Eighth Day, Bentzi Shmuel Marcus. Eighth Day talking about their latest album, Stronger, Closer. It is 10 o'clock in the morning. There, they got to go get their coffees and get about their day. Maybe they're going back to the studio. Maybe they're shooting a music video. Guys, what's up? We got the Shtetls Calling Babanu remix music video out. But that was a remix. When are we going to get some original new 8-day songs as music videos?
Oh, definitely in the works.
Well, technically fans have two. They have Babanu and they have The Miracle of Light, which you released last year. So it's not it's not like there's nothing. But now they're hearing these new sounds, these new songs. So definitely, now we got to discuss, guys, which song we're going to do. Unless you don't want the fans in on this.
We can't give away the secrets.
Okay, so then let's go on to the tour. Let's talk about...
So rest assured, we're working on some really, really creative, great stuff. We're very excited.
Okay, Shmuel, Stronger, Closer tour. Where are we starting? What have we announced thus far?
Well, Washington, D.C.
Okay.
The White House.
Wait, when are you guys
That'll be fun.
When are you guys doing the White House?
First night of Hanukkah,
December 2nd.
the national menorah lighting.
Oh, wow. I actually just saw online they said that Trump is making 2 Hanukkah parties because a lot of people didn't make it to the first, or there wasn't enough room, so he's making 2 Hanukkah parties for the first time. So that's interesting.
Wow.
Did you guys ever do Washington or not?
We have. This will be our second time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Washington, first night of Hanukkah. Where else?
We're going to be doing in Florida the Gulfstream concert with Avraham Fried.
Oh, wow.
That should be fun.
Yeah, he's good.
And you guys actually, when was it that you did the Friedman family in Israel? That was last Sukkot, right?
Yes, last Sukkot.
Shmuel, what was that like for you guys? I mean, I'm sure you've performed on and off with some of your relatives, but having them all on one stage?
That was incredible. Avram Fried, as you know, is a very nice guy.
Right.
He's just a wonderful guy. Cousin Benny is fantastic. My brother Ellie working on a new album about to drop. He's fantastic to hang out with.
And cousin Simcha.
Our cousin Simcha. Yeah, he's like our Israeli interpreter over there. I mean, it was just fantastic.
So do Israeli fans, are they as crazy about 8th Day as us American and Canadians?
Believe it or not, we have a lot of Israeli fans. And it's just incredible. This album in particular.
Mm-hmm.
In particular, we have a lot of, if you look on the Babanu remix video, a lot of Hebrew comments.
That's right.
It's just really cool.
Well, when they're going to get to buy the album, and they're going to hear songs like Sameach Tesamach or B'Shuvcha Tzion, or even Geula, there is a lot of Hebrew there, and a lot of Hebrew themed music. Is the album available in Israel yet, boys, or not?
It's on the way.
Mm-hmm.
It should be, by next week.
Okay.
Should have it.
So if you guys live in Israel, you can get that. B. Pesci on Twitter writes, I was introduced to them with Yalili, but then went backwards and found all the old stuff. So I guess I'm wrong. I'm sorry, boys.
It works both ways.
Yes. I see on your Facebook page that you're giving away a signed CD for Stronger Closer with a custom guitar pick today. Was that drawing done yet, or people could still enter it today?
You could still enter. We didn't do the drawing yet.
Okay, so guys, head over to Facebook, 8th Day. It's spelled EIG, the number 8, THDAY. Like their picture, share it, tag people, and you can win a signed CD and a custom guitar pick. Are you guys going to be using these guitar picks on your shows from now on or not? Because I like that shtick. It looked very cool.
This is why we need to get you a custom guitar pick. You need one for your office.
I'm still waiting for my, Avraham t-shirt and my 8th Day cap from back in the day.
You don't have a Moses and Me t-shirt?
I don't have a Moses and Me t-shirt. I'm still waiting for it.
Yossi Zweig. Yossi Zweig. All right, take care of you, Yossi Zweig. I know what your Hanukkah gift is going to be from the 8th Day.
We have to give a shout out to, of course, Avi Feder, you guys' manager for the last few years, who made sure that I got the music on time and, of course, helped set up this interview. So thanks a lot, Avi.
Avi's our main man.
Yeah, and I'm hoping you guys will be coming to New York soon. No tour of any album is not a tour, especially with a song named Babanu that talks about Crown Heights. I mean, you can't have an album like that unless you do in New York in your tour. You know that, right?
Absolutely. We have. We can't announce it yet officially, but we do have some nice big stuff coming to New York, Mr. Shem, very soon.
Okay, guys, I want to wish you Atzlacha Rabba, an amazing winter. Well, winter. You guys are in L.A. You don't know what winter means. Only when you travel.
Yeah.
We're going to play you out with Abyssal Mazel because I'm wishing you a lot of Mazel with the brand new album.
Thank you you so much.
Boys, have an amazing day.
Yossi
Amazing morning.
Zweig, Hatzlacha, you're the best.
My pleasure. Take care, Bentzi Shmuel.
Okay, bye.